You might not know this, but the reason that I wear a crop top all the time is because I have been told that like bigger girls can't wear that. You know, you need to be petite. I thought that with a lot of clothes. So my version of defining confidence is defying others' expectations, judgments, or realities that they try and fit me into. And so I'll wear the crop top. I'm going to put on the clothes that maybe someone might say are not within my age range. I turned 30 and I immediately started wearing butterfly clips, crazy 90s bucket hats. And people are probably like, who are you trying to be? Why are you trying to be young? No, I'm trying to show you that you can do, wear, be, have whatever it is that you want. And you don't need to let other people get you down or make you think otherwise or less than about yourself. Hey babe, welcome to Confidently Uncomfortable. I'm your host J.Go. Every week I'm sharing 2 new episodes, and today's episode we are getting real, raw, and you guessed it, uncomfortable. Let's get vulnerable today. You in? Question. Do you find yourself worrying about being judged? Do you feel like you're masking how you're feeling, or you're having to feel like you're faking it whenever you are trying to put yourself out there, whether it's in dating or in the office, or just in life in general, but you still feel kind of sick to your stomach? When you walk into a room, do you find yourself maybe grabbing your phone and looking down, or hunching your shoulders, or trying to make yourself smaller, basically trying to avoid stares from anyone? Do you struggle to speak up and share your opinion? And do you find yourself always having to get external validation or approval before you make almost any decision? If you answered yes to any of these, then let's break that down a little bit. It's okay. So many people feel this way, and it has to do with feeling like you have a lack of confidence. And when it comes to your self-esteem, you're kind of putting yourself on the lower end of the category when you think about yourself. And I really want to help you overcome that lack of confidence and low self-esteem. And if you're listening to this and you're like, well, J.Go, like some days I do feel really confident, or it just depends on who I'm around, or maybe I'm really confident at home, but I'm not confident at work, or I'm confident in this one area of my life, but I want to start somewhere else, but I'm not feeling confident about that. Wherever you're at on the spectrum, this is going to be a good episode for you, because first of all, we always need this reminder. And secondly, it's important to recognize where you're at and check in with yourself. So let's do it. I want to remind you, when it comes to your self-esteem and having confidence, being you is good enough. You don't have to change who you are. You don't have to be afraid to show up as yourself now. I talked about this actually in the last episode. So if you're still, kind of struggling with that and you want to hear more about my story, feel free to go listen to that if you haven't. But let's talk a little bit more about low self-esteem. Low self-esteem, it takes a toll on our relationships and so many other aspects of our lives. It can lead to lack of confidence in the bedroom. It can lead to lack of confidence in the boardroom. And our confidence and self-esteem, they start at a really young age. I'll give you guys some personal examples for sure, but it's important to recognize that, like, even though it did get formed, our confidence and self-esteem, self-worth, most likely got formed before the age of 7. It's still important to recognize that you have the power to change that. You have the power to change how you view yourself, how you value yourself. And so that means that you right now, sitting here just as you are, have the power to increase your confidence, and it has little or nothing to do with others. We're quick to want to blame and be like, you don't understand, J.Go, what I've been through. You don't understand how people treated me. You don't understand, the things that I've gone through. And you're right, I don't. I have not been in your shoes personally. But together, we are going to take ownership and know that, yes, maybe some shitty things happened to us. Maybe we were treated poorly. People talked about us, said mean things, made us feel like complete dirt. But we are going to take ownership and know that we deserve to feel confident in our skin. And not only do we deserve it, but we are going to work tirelessly to step into the most confident version of ourselves today. We are going to increase our self-esteem today, our worthiness, because you are so capable of doing this and you don't need permission from others. And even if you had a really, really hard time growing up, I promise you, we can work through this together. I don't want to belittle or minimize anything that you've been through, so don't take this as me thinking as like, oh, just shake it off, rub some dirt in it and don't worry about it, or just forget about it. Like you shouldn't worry about your quote unquote trauma. No, you absolutely should. It is okay to recognize maybe some crappy things happen to you, but they don't define you. They don't define you. So we are going to overcome some of those confidence issues and the lower self-esteem. Hopefully you end this episode feeling a little bit better about yourselves. So let's go through this together. I think it's important when you are focusing on confidence is to actually figure out why it matters, because when it comes to confidence, your picture of confidence could look completely different to my picture of confidence, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's actually a beautiful thing. Your confidence is going to be different than mine and the person next to you and the person that raised you. So it's important to define your confidence. So let's start there. When you think of confidence within yourself, what does that look like? So if you woke up tomorrow 100% confident in your skin, what would that look like? What would you be doing? What would you wake up and put on to wear for the day if you were if you're really confident? Who would you hang out with and spend time with? What kind of things would you say and do in your work environment or at home or in the bedroom? Think about those things, get really clear on it. You can actually go and write this out and picture this. I will say sometimes when we do this, our inner mean girl wants to come in and say, you will never be that confident. And that's not true. The fact that you're thinking of this image right now lets me know that that confidence is within you right now where you're at. So I want you to define your confidence. And then, because like I said, when we start to get and dream about that and really visualize it, the inner mean girl can come out. And that means that those mental roadblocks can come out. So it's important to, instead of letting those domino or spiral into something bigger that completely throws you off, you're going to call out your inner mean girl. I've done a whole episode on this, so definitely go listen. But calling out your inner mean girl means identifying negative thought patterns or phrases or things that you're saying about yourself. Starting to just recognize them and then basically stop yourself in your tracks and be like, no, we are not going to spiral. We're going to break this cycle. We're going to change up the pattern. If normally we have a negative thought and then it leads to some sort of destructive habit, we are going to try and shift that pattern, shake it up in some way. I talk about this a lot with my clients personally, so if that's something you want help with, I got you. Let's work together. Next thing you want to do is look at your environment. So I did say that growing up, your self-esteem and your confidence are very much influenced by your environment. I don't know about y'all, but I can think back to when my confidence was first taken from me. And I was going to mention this in my story episode before this, but I think now could be a good time to talk about it. When I was younger, y'all don't know this unless you're watching on YouTube, I have spots on my skin, white spots. And, as a young kid, I didn't really care about that because if anything, it made me feel more connected to my dad, who my parents got divorced very young. So him being far away, it really was a cool thing for me. And I didn't mind questions and I totally just reacted in a positive way, which was so cool to think about as a young baby. J.Go was just totally fine with having white spots. And this was it was all over me, more so than it is now. And I remember an experience where someone literally called me a leper and they yelled at me, and I was really young and I was in the middle of a restaurant with my Nana who passed away the past year. But it was so jarring for me because I didn't think that it mattered what I looked like until that really hit me wow, is something wrong with me that I'm so different? And so it started to make me not see things that made me different as a good thing or that connected me to my family, but I saw it as something bad. And this led down a path of more of that. And then when I got to an age where I was younger, I was wearing a two-piece bathing suit. And I remember wearing a two-piece bathing suit and having a kid point at me and saying, "Why does your stomach stick out past that? You can't wear a bathing suit like that." And I'm literally so young, so the fact that you're commenting on me in general is weird, but that stuck with me. I thought, I'm bad, I'm wrong for wearing this. I'm not allowed to do this. I don't deserve your love. All of these things started to ingrain in me, and a small thing, such small things that maybe I would brush off in the past as not a big deal. You don't realize that they can become ingrained with everything that you do. You might not know this, but the reason that I wear a crop top all the time is because I have been told that like bigger girls can't wear that. You know, you need to be petite. I thought that with a lot of clothes. So my version of defining confidence is defying others' expectations, judgments, or realities that they try and fit me into. And so I'll wear the crop top. I'm going to put on the clothes that maybe someone might say are not within my age range. I turned 30 and I immediately started wearing butterfly clips, crazy 90s bucket hats. And people are probably like, who are you trying to be? Why are you trying to be young? No, I'm trying to show you that you can do, wear, be, have whatever it is that you want, and you don't need to let other people get you down or make you think otherwise or less than about yourself. So a big part of this, I went through this and I took this with me, right? And then I started to realize that your environment directly impacts your self-esteem and your confidence. So growing up, having people support you and make you feel good in your skin is so crucial, but not everyone has that privilege. Not everyone got that, and that's okay, but now you can change as an adult. You can shift your environment to surround yourself by people that love and support you exactly as you are, that don't make you feel bad about yourself. If you find yourself with people and they literally make you feel small, they make you feel wrong, they make you feel like you are not enough, those are not your people. And even if they feel like they should be because they're family, they're not your people. So I want you to audit your environment and recognize that there's power in that space. There's power in who you spend time with, and there's power in setting intentions that you will not be around people that make you feel small. And when I started to do that, my circles got smaller, but my confidence grew. And that is what I want you to do as well. I want you to recognize that our environment directly affects our confidence. Be more intentional with who you're spending your time with. Set up space that's going to help you succeed and make you feel even better. And I don't mean that it's going to be people that lie to you when you need maybe some truth, because I won't. I will give you the truth. But people that support you even on the days where you are struggling, or in the days where maybe you're not being nice to yourself. Instead of stepping into that negativity and breeding more negativity, they pull you out of it. That is true friendship, and that's what you deserve. So if you don't have that now, I want you to step back and call it in. And sometimes calling something new in means cutting off something old. The next thing I want you to do is recognize the words that you're using to speak about yourself. I talked about this in the last episode about how powerful our words are, and to start to just recognize, how am I speaking about myself? What words am I using? I do an episode about bridging your affirmations in order to create confidence. That's a really good one to listen to, because I know sometimes affirmations, they don't feel connected to you because you're not there yet, and that's okay. I don't want you to feel bad for not feeling connected to the affirmation of I am confident. Instead, I want you to find a bridge that can connect you and get you a little bit closer. So that's really my goal for this, is for you to start to recognize that you can embrace where you're at and continue to grow. So start with awareness around your words, and I want you to start to let them go a little bit more and not let them get to you. Same with the words of others. That was something that I really struggled with for a long time. I would take everyone's words to heart, everyone's opinions to heart, and it made me always feel wrong. I always felt wrong because no matter what I did, someone wasn't happy. And now I've released that, and I've allowed space in order to recognize that as long as I'm happy, the rest doesn't matter. And that doesn't mean stepping over people, it means stepping into who you are. And that's what I want for you. I want you to show up and not feel like you have to change who you are in order to be more appeasable to others. This takes time. It took you a long time to get here. Like I said, a lot of this is the foundation of who we are, or the foundation that makes us who we are today. It doesn't mean it has to be who we are tomorrow. So don't get too held up and caught up in your narrative, in your title, into who you think you are meant to be because of what you went through. That doesn't define you. You define you. And a big part of this is going to be breaking up with the judgment. It's easy to get caught up in thinking about, oh my gosh, what are they going to think if I do this? What are they going to think if I wear this or if I say this? And we don't have control over other people's reactions to us. We only have control over what we do. And that huge realization for me absolutely changed the game for how I showed up in this world. I was no longer afraid of judgment. Instead, I was afraid of holding back and wondering what if. So every single step I took, I made sure that it was all in. That is what I want for you. I want you to be all in, showing up for yourself without fear of judgment. Other people's judgment is keeping you stuck. And you deserve to feel fully alive. You deserve to feel fully encompassed in who you're meant to be. And you deserve to feel confident. I want you to lead with love and empathy as you break up with judgment. When things do come up, I want you to release them. It can be easy to want to attack people when they judge you, but I want to remind you that when people are judging you, they're judging themselves 10 times as hard. It's so true. It's crazy how I've noticed that. And once I've noticed that, it's allowed me to have such a deeper level of empathy for others because I see hurting people hurt people. My dad always said that to me, and I never quite understood it until I looked a little deeper. And I saw that when I was taking out my anger and pain onto my people that I love, like my mom and my husband, it was because I was hurting so much deeper inside. And it helped me see that whenever someone else was lashing out, that was the same. And it gave me this level of empathy that allowed me to become unshakable. Because no matter what someone did or said, I'm now able to see there's so much more behind it. And it has nothing to do with me. And I want you to see that too. I want you to be your biggest cheerleader. I want you to step in to your power. And a big part of stepping into your power is stepping up. It's recognizing that you are fully capable, but you gotta celebrate the small wins. You gotta hype yourself up along the way, and you gotta build yourself up. Think about yourself as a toddler. When you're a toddler, you're cheering them on for every little step that they take. You're cheering them on for every single word that they say. You're cheering them on for every single thing that they accomplish. I want you to do the exact same for you and watch your life change. Start implementing these steps now. Go into this next chapter with grace, and I want you to embrace where you're at while creating change. Recognize your life is going to change, and that's beautiful. But you can embrace and love and find presence within your current space. I've done that, and it's absolutely changed my life, and I hope you start to do the same. It's going to start with finding joy in little things, and I'll definitely talk about that more. But I just wanted to let you know that you already have that confidence within you. It's about learning to unleash it. That's what I'm here for. That's what I do. That's why I created the BCB universe. I did that because I wanted you to see that you're not alone. I wanted you to see that you don't have to wait until blank in order to step into your confidence. You can start now. You just got to take the first step. I love you. I'm so excited for this next chapter, and I would love to hear feedback from this episode. Go ahead and subscribe and leave a review. That would really, really help me. If you want to be a part of our giveaway, make sure that you add your Instagram handle, and when you add that review, and that'll really help me because we're going to be doing a fun giveaway as well as a give back program for every review that's left during the time of this launch. So during the launch period, every review that's left, we're going to be doing $1 towards a cause. We haven't voted on the cause as a group yet, but once we get together as a community, we'll figure out what that is. But you can go ahead and start doing that now. Leave us a review, and that really makes a huge difference. If you feel like there's someone that needs to hear this episode or any of the other episodes, please share and continue to lean into our mission of making an impact beyond ourselves. Thanks, y'all.